All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It is Sunday morning, and I think this is pretty close to the earliest I've ever done a Sunday morning uh, video segment. I am Gary Ryan here with the Fed League Flash, and we're reviewing a couple games from last night. This was more reflective of what I expected these two series to be like. Um, as opposed to the two blowouts we had on Friday night. Starting off, we're going to talk about Danbury and Binghamton. Binghamton traveling up to Danbury, one of the toughest barns to play in. Danbury comes away with the 5-2 victory. Um, a lot different feel to this game than there was on Friday. So we had a scoreless first, and then Michael Marquezan opened up the scoring early in the second period. Johnny Ruiz finally got himself going. First point he's had against Binghamton this year, which is very surprising. Now, during the 6 games during the regular season, there were 3 games that Ruiz did not play in due to injury. But even without that, Ruiz pretty prolific scorer. But anyway, he got his goal on the power play. Don Oliveri matched for the Black Bears late in the second period with power play goal himself. And so 2-1 after 2. Still a very close game. There wasn't a lot of open ice. That was, yeah, definitely not through the first period. And the second period, Danbury started opening up the offensive zone a little bit more, getting some grade A chances. And Binghamton just never really got going. Danbury did a fantastic job defensively with gumming up the passing lanes, not just in the neutral zone, really all 3 zones. Their sticks were a lot more active, and this was more like the Danbury team that we've seen the majority of the year. So early in the third period, just a little over a minute in, Jacob Radcliffe ends up with a game-winning goal. He stuffs it home past Taylor Joseph. And then Binghamton goes into panic mode. A little over 3 minutes left. They pull Taylor Joseph. Mac Lewis scores with the extra attacker to get it to 3-2. But then about 45 seconds later, Johnny Ruiz got an empty netter. Joseph goes back in the goal. Binghamton wins control, gets the puck down into Danbury's zone, so Taylor's pulled again. And Ajic ended up controlling the puck and backhanding another empty netter to seal the deal. So, very clean game. There were maybe like about 3 penalties that could have been called on both teams, but overall, I have to say I have to give kudos to Trevor Waite and to Jared Mitrano for the work they did officiating the game. I thought that was one of the best officiated games I have seen all year. They made the calls that they needed to make. The things that they let go were more of the ticky-tacky variety that, it's playoff hockey. Let the players play. I was very happy with the way the game was officiated. So in the end, Joseph ends up saving 32 of 35. He had the lion's share as far as highlight reel saves. Really kept Binghamton in it. Danbury really had, I'd say, about 7 chances that Joseph just stood on his head and stuffs him. So Danbury's offense really got going, and they were able to get enough offense to win the game. Brian Wilson back to his usual form, 33 of 35 for saves. And Yeah, it was a crowd of about 2,500, which was one of the better crowds we've seen in Danbury this year. That included approximately 200 fans that traveled from Binghamton to go to the game. So, yeah, now the series is knotted up at one. No game tonight. They play tomorrow night, Monday night, 7 o'clock at Danbury for the whole ball of wax. The other game started an hour earlier than the Binghamton Danbury game, and finished about 45 minutes later. What a game! Totally amazing, totally incredible. Pardon the noise. That's just the washing machine. Home life. All right, so uh, Carolina comes back from the dead, basically, to win in two overtimes, 6-5. Yep, you see right in the shot, 67-62. Uh, Carolina twice came back from 3 goals down, and I've got to say, Carolina looked completely lifeless in that first period. And I was about ready to start pouring the dirt over them. I thought there's no way they come back in this game, and they proved me wrong. Brett Wiseman doing the play-by-play. This dude deserves a lifetime supply of Ricola lozenges because you know you got a little ground in the voice there, but can't blame him. This was a really really exciting game. So at the start of the game, Carolina's excited. Mario Cavalier, after missing almost a month, comes back, and then he's pulled after allowing 2 goals on 3 shots. So enter Greg Hussey, who backed up Boris Babic yesterday, played the last 30 some minutes of Friday's game, and then yesterday 56 of 59 in 85 minutes played, just about. Thank you very much, Watertown Wolves. Thank you for the gift. So yeah, actually, both parts of that gift factored in as Brendan Hussey scored a goal as well. So yeah, we start off. It's all Columbus. Jamaev scores on the power play. Petrantonio scores. Jamaev scores again. It's 3-0, and Carolina just looks like, what the heck are we doing out here? And then Grebennikov gets a little bit of momentum going. Cody Rogers ends up scoring to put the River Dragons back up 4-1. So they're back up by 3 again. And then the avalanche starts towards the end of the second period. Keplinger gets a tally, and it's 4-2 heading into the third period. And Carolina fans who sat for the first 20 minutes, their jaws agape going, what's going on, are now starting to buzz. So yeah, Brandon Hussey gets that third goal, and Lucas Rowe starts just a flurry of activity. 14:39 of the third period, he scores to draw Carolina back into a tie. Frigeau answers just 58 seconds later. It's 5-4 Columbus. Carolina's thinking, did we just lose our momentum? Nope. Enter in Peter Panachik. And this dude, if there was a Fed version of the Conn Smythe Trophy, this guy be getting it, hands down. I know we're not even to the finals yet, but Peter Panachik has been the best player in the FPHL for the last 4 weeks, dating back to the last 2 weeks of the regular season. This guy he's so on fire. He's a flaming inferno. It's incredible. He's better than Gus Ford. He's better than Lucas Rowe. He's better than Keplinger. He's better than Batita. In a clutch, Peter Panachik is your guy. So he scores at 15:58, just 21 seconds after Frigeau had put Columbus up. And so we go to overtime, 5-5. The referees put away their whistles. Now, there wasn't a whole lot that needed to be called. Again, I like a playoff game where the referees are letting the players play and letting the players decide the game on their own. So go through the entire first overtime. Both teams are playing at a furious pace, averaging about a shot on goal per minute. And then we get into the second overtime session. Things start to settle down a little bit, but there's still a lot of skating, a lot of activity. And then finally, Cody Rogers gets called for a high stick. Only penalty was called in either overtime penalties, so he's sitting in the box, and Peter Podacek says, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." Scores at 11:13 of the second overtime frame. The place goes nuts, rightfully so, and Carolina ends up evening the series at 1 game apiece. Both teams got to be dog tired. They played Friday night, boarded a bus, made a 6.5-hour bus trip over to Winston-Salem, get ready for an earlier start, 6:05, play a game that lasts 91 minutes, and then they've got to go at it again at 4:05 this afternoon. So this is really where you get a gut check. You see on both Columbus and Carolina, who wants this? Who's going to dig deep? Who's going to pull a rabbit out of their hats? Sorry, Danbury, no pun intended. And, who's going to end up rising to the top? So this is going to be an incredible game. I do not think it's going to be a sloppy game. I think adrenaline is super high for both teams. I still give the edge to Carolina to win this afternoon and punch their ticket to the finals. As far as the other series, I still think Binghamton is going to end up pulling it out. I said, last two podcasts, I really believed whoever won game one was going to win the series. Well, Binghamton won game one. Is it going to be a blowout? No. It's going to be a knockdown, drag down, all-out war. It's gonna be a game of attrition. So I'm seriously looking at a 1-goal game for that contest. So anyway, the final thoughts. As far as Carolina goes, you got a real nice problem. Who do you start in goal tonight? Do you stick with Greg Hussey, who's logged a ton of minutes the last 2 days? Do you run the risk of overplaying him? Do you go back to Cavalier? Maybe he just had to shake off the rust and just wasn't able to do it yesterday. He's obviously been Carolina's best goaltender all year. Do you give Babbitt a second chance? Didn't play a good game on Friday, but he's been a steady Eddie all season for the Thunderbirds. So, talk about a real nice problem to have. You got 3 goaltenders that can take over at any time. I think Columbus sticks with Colgan. Colgan did not fail the River Dragons. He's not the reason why they didn't pull it off. So there you go. All right, so let me know in the comments below who you think are going to be the participants in the Commissioner's Cup Finals. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. A couple of great games last night, and I can't wait to see what happens next. All right, we will have a video tomorrow reviewing the Carolina-Columbus series, and then Tuesday, tune in to Spotify. I'm going to have a Spotify report reviewing the final game between Binghamton and Danbury. So you don't want to miss either podcast. Go to Spotify, download the free app, follow me there at Fed League Flash. Here, of course, you know where to find me at FPHL Flash. I am Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you again tomorrow.